Okay, welcome everyone once again. So let's get started. First, we would like to do some introductions. And Dr. Win-Kai To, would you like to start?
Yeah, thank you, Alexandra. My name is Win-Kai To. I'm the Assistant Provost for Global Engagement at Florida State University. And today's goal of this COIL meeting is to introduce the COIL Virtual Exchange Initiative at Bridgewater State University. Also, we have a short kind of examples of some of the faculty about their previous projects and outcomes. And then we have a number of partner universities who are here. We will ask you to introduce yourself, and we will just invite you to work with us for some ongoing and future collaborations. And finally, we will follow up after this meeting to identify our next steps for partnership collaborations, and particularly COIL projects and virtual exchange projects for next semester and beyond. So my goal is to really have used this meeting to increase kind of understanding between our partners and what Bridgewater is trying to offer to our partners. And we also like to hear about what the partners would like to do. Some of our partners already have been doing COIL and virtual exchange, and they are very structured in their COIL projects, such as the partners in Mexico and partners in Japan. And then there are also other partners who are much more flexible in terms of their exchanges, such as Hong Kong. And there's also other partners that are starting to develop relations with us, including Brazil and also Israel and other countries as well. And then we have new partners in Uganda and other places. So I will turn this back to Alexandra.
Thank you, Win-Kai. So my name is Alexandra Balconi, and I'm a COIL coordinator at Bridgewater State University. I'm also an associate professor in TESOL, teaching English to speakers of other languages. And I also do COIL projects in my coursework as well. First, I'm sure some of you are familiar with the idea of COIL, but if you are not familiar or just want to review this, so COIL stands for Collaborative Online International Learning. It's a form of virtual exchange that connects students with peers from other universities around the world. So two faculty connect and work on a joint project, design a joint project for their students to work on over a course of several weeks. It involves in-depth collaboration between students to complete shared projects. It's a very authentic and cross-cultural interaction experience for students, in which they get to know each other and others from different cultural and linguistic backgrounds. There are multiple benefits that COIL provides to participating students. At BSU, this initiative started with the pandemic in the fall of 2020, when we had the first two projects, pilot COIL projects. So far, we've collaborated and currently collaborating with a number of countries in different continents: Japan, South Korea, Hong Kong, Cambodia, Germany, Ireland, Israel, Mexico, Brazil, and other countries. There are flexible formats that our faculty use in their COIL projects. They design and decide on what kind of formats they want to use themselves. This includes asynchronous projects, completely asynchronous, partially synchronous with 1, 2, or 3 synchronous meetings on Zoom, and consistently synchronous projects with weekly, synchronous projects with weekly meetings. These projects at BSU range from 4 to 9 weeks generally, and faculty use a variety of platforms and technologies such as Padlet, Flipgrid to create opportunities for their students to interact when outside of those synchronous meetings. Currently, we have 9 COIL projects this semester. So we have a few faculty members here from BSU who are currently doing COIL projects and who can introduce their COIL projects to you and share what exactly they do this semester. Dr. Jabbar Al-Obadi, would you like to start? You're muted.
Okay, so good morning and welcome to this very important meeting to enhance our conversation regarding COIL. I mean, it's really very ambitious project, and we slowly being able to build it up. And as Alessandra mentioned, we have 9 of these COILs projects now. One of these projects is mine. My name is Jabbar Al-Waidi. I'm the professor of communication studies, but at the same time, I'm the academic director of global programs, working with Wenkai and other colleagues. So my project this semester is with the Al-Qasimi Academy in Israel. It's an Arab Israeli university, and so I have a colleague of mine, Dr. Wissam Kilani. She's teaching English literature. I teach race, gender, and class in the US media. And so we started to collaborate on bringing our 2 classes online every Tuesday from 9:30 a.m. to 10:45 a.m. And the format is really simple. We already established a nice, really pattern or format. We started with sending them reading materials. We have a textbook, but at the same time, we assign some articles and also stories. So this is all set. You know, we send it every week, and then of course we formed groups from both sides, and they utilize WhatsApp in addition to Blackboard and Canvas. So the students, they feel comfortable with that. And when we meet, so yesterday we met 9:30. We usually start our work with short presentations, either both of us or one of us. And then we generate some questions, and the discussion starts. So it's always there's a possibility for students to ask a question, but also to offer some comments. After that, we usually prepare a video, short video, relevant to material that's been discussed, and then we all watch the video. And after that, we go to breakout rooms, and they will discuss the reading and the video. Will give them about 15 minutes. By that time, of course, we are visiting these rooms. So we go and see what they are doing, and then make sure that they are really doing what they are supposed to do. And it seems it's going really very well. I think one of the things that very encouraging, at least in my case, there's no language problem or linguistic barrier. Why? Because both sides they speak English, which is really very, very helpful. And after that, they come back, and then each group, they will reflect. So then they ask some question. Also, they see what the learning outcomes, and if they have any other suggestions. So that's the format is going. In between, like the last week, we asked them to write 2 pages, because we want to make sure that not just you orally converse and communicate, but we need to make sure that also we enhance their communication skills in writing and analysis. And then we, every side will collect these articles or these short papers to read and to evaluate. I think one of the, to me, I'm looking for my notes. One of the challenges is the time element, because it used to be, we started on October 25th, and we will continue for another 5 or 4 sessions, because altogether is from October 25th to November 29th. That will be 6 meetings. Again, 6 meetings. We decided on go to 6 meetings. The challenge is the time. We started in October was 7 hours, now it's 8 hours. And so at least this is my own observation, and I share that with my students and my colleague. I don't think students, they get together even through the WhatsApp after our class. And so trying to find ways to make sure that they really connect. Some of them, they individually connect with one another, but we would like them to, as a group, to connect and then talk about the materials that they have learned, and also whatever questions they can ask and come back to next week, they can share it with the class. My evaluation, I think the arrangement is working very well. I think students, we collected some testimonies from them. They are really learning a lot. They enjoy it because now they have some friendship. They built a friendship, and they have friends from between the two countries. And so we're hoping that we learn from the practice, and then we add to whatever our strengths and try to filter out our weaknesses. Our goal is to continue next semester and the fall. The second challenge is, of course, our semesters in the fall start in September 5th. They start in October. And we start in spring in January 18. They start late in February, but this can be really, I think, overcome by just start a little bit later in the semester. One thing I will end up with this, for those who they want to experience this. In my view, and based on my the training we got from Sony, this kind of COIL does not have to be, and I always say this, it does not need to be apple to apple. It could be apple to orange. So it doesn't have, you teach this course, then you have to really find a matching course precisely. No, actually that will defeat the purpose. And in fact, you can do these things, and then you find common grounds and common interests for both sides. And I think it will work fine for students. Thank you so much for listening to this. And I really apologize that I'm going to leave you because I have a meeting at 10:30. And I hope you will enjoy. But I'm staying with you for the next presentation until 10:30. Thank you so much, Alexandra.
Thank you, Jabbar. Thank you very much. Dr. Emily Spitzman, would you like to introduce your COIL project and yourself?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Emily Spitzman, and I am an associate professor in the TESOL department. Let me share my screen quickly with you. So I have 2 projects going on at the moment. Here, go back to the beginning one. That's the first one. Sorry. Go back. There's my screen. Hold on. My screen here. My screen's not adjusting. Hold on 1 second. Okay, there we go. Technical difficulties. I'm sure you don't know anything about technical difficulties, right? We never have any challenges with technology. It's always perfect. All right, so the first project is several universities in Israel. Actually, the Jabbar said he was working with Al-Qasimi. It's with Oranim, Al-Qasimi, and a couple other universities in Israel through Game Changers in Education. And it's actually a existing organization that's a collaboration between the Stevens Initiative, the US government, and others involved. And they run virtual negotiation, skill building, and international exchange programs for future education leaders. So I integrate this into one of my seminars, one of my freshman seminars, and it works really well because it's an opportunity to practice and experience intercultural interaction with a focus on learning and skill development. So the fact the curriculum is so established is a real benefit because it's something that everybody has as a common topic, a common, common information, but they're also able to exchange and get to know one another. And we actually met yesterday and we're building on our synchronous sessions and actually then going to also have some additional sessions where students just have some conversations and relationship building as well. I'd love to talk with any of you who are interested in this program or let you know any more information at a later time if you're curious. A second collaboration that is going on right now in my classes is a collaboration with the Dominican Republic. We're working with a university and a high school, and this is some information about the high school we are working with. They didn't have technology set up at the high school in the Dominican Republic, so we went down for a site visit because my colleague, Dr. Sarah Thomas, and I were awarded a racial justice travel grant, so we were able to go for a site visit. And then we found out that at a high school with 900 students, they didn't have the ability to connect to the internet that was there around. So we actually had BSU lend a Wi-Fi hotspot to the school, and one of our colleagues brought it down. And then we're really working to install sustainable and reliable internet at the school through the help of BSU. So the hope is that we will either get some grant or a donation to bring down wires and and internet connectivity for the school. So it's in progress. It's getting set up, and we're hoping we'll be able to do that because we want to meet with the students prior to a study tour in March 2023 when our university students are going to teach in the Dominican Republic. We want to have regular meetings with faculty and Zoom English sessions prior to going down. So when we arrive in the Dominican Republic to teach, we will have an impactful experience where we will not start at the beginning, but actually already have a relationship developed with the students at the school, with the faculty. And again, we're trying to work with the university as well, but it's a slow process, but we're getting there. So thank you for listening. And if you're at all interested in talking more about this project or others, I'd be happy to meet with you outside of this meeting.
Thank you so much, Emily. Dr. Karen Richardson, would you like to introduce yourself and your project?
Sure. Thank you so much, Alexandra. So my name is Karen Richardson, and I am a faculty member in the Health and Kinesiology Department at Bridgewater State University. And this is my third COIL that I've done with my partners at Tokyo Gakugei University. Trying to get my beginning. So the partnership, the COIL that we're going to talk about today, actually, it hasn't started yet. We actually start next week, and I'll show you the plan. So we will meet synchronously. I have a class of students who are enrolled in a curriculum course in physical education, and we will partner with students at Tokyo Gakugei University who are students in education. Many of them are going to be students who are in their international program. So we will actually have students from really around the world in the Tokyo Gakugei cohort. So we'll meet synchronously on Zoom on December 1st, and we will be doing a series of icebreakers so that our students get a chance to know each other a little bit and to practice some communication skills, because obviously some of our students will be speaking Japanese, others are speaking a range of languages, although we will conduct, obviously the COIL will be done primarily in English. On December 3rd, which is a Saturday, actually going to move to the, didn't move to my PowerPoint there. The second session will be on December 3rd, and we are going to take part collaboratively in something called a lesson study. And what will happen is all of the students from both Tokyo Gakugei and from Bridgewater, we will have watched a video of a teacher teaching a lesson, and then we will come together with colleagues from around the world to talk about the lesson and to think about ways in which we can improve that lesson. And the idea will be that our students from Tokyo Gakugei and from Bridgewater will be paired in breakout rooms so that they can have a conversation. And then we'll share out big ideas with the whole group. So it's this is a different approach to COIL than I've done in the past, where the global lesson study is really the big shared experience that we have. After we do the global lesson study, we'll then meet again for a session, again, synchronous on Zoom, where we're going to reflect on the process of engaging in global lesson study together. And again, this will be done in small breakout rooms, and then students will be coming back and sharing some ideas that they've co-created. So this is only a 2.5 week experience with the students, so it's a relatively short COIL, but I think I'm really interested in seeing how coming together around a shared professional development event will impact the students. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Karen. I would like now to introduce my COIL projects, and I do not have a PowerPoint because I have the same amount of time, but 2 projects to introduce, so I will be very brief. One of the projects, one of my COIL projects that I've been implementing the 3rd semester already, so I started last fall, then we did it in the spring again, and we are doing it this fall again, is with Japan, with Kansai Gakuin University. So I'm, as I already mentioned earlier, an associate professor in TESOL, and I teach courses in the TESOL certificate and TESOL minor programs here at Bridgewater State University. And our students do not have a lot of opportunities to actually practice what they learn through actual teaching in the school. At the graduate level, we have more of these opportunities, but at the undergraduate level, we do not have too many opportunities for students to actually practice teaching English to speakers of other languages, to practice implementing what they learn about culture and implement intercultural competence skills as well. They learn about this in the courses, but the practical piece is missing, which is not unusual for a minor or short-term certificate programs. So the COIL projects are a perfect integration into the programs, into the 2 programs, undergraduate programs, where students have a chance to actually interact with English language learners and practice what they learn in the courses. So in that project with Japan, my course focuses on cultural issues in teaching English as a second or foreign language. And the partner university students are in the English language course at Kansai Gakuin University. They learn English. So we connect the 2 groups of students, and it's an 8-week project. Since, as you know, the time difference is quite big, 14 hours, it's hard to have a lot of synchronous meetings. So we do one at the very beginning of the project, an orientation session for both groups of students. We schedule it, we are creative in terms of scheduling so that it's everyone can make it either early in the morning or late at night, depending on the time zone. And then we have a meeting at the conclusion of the project as well. But in between, students work in breakout, well, in small groups, and they meet in between twice with each other and work on joint projects. So they teach each other about cultural issues and about language. And in the courses, in my course, my students reflect on those experiences and connect it back to the course content that they learned at the beginning of the semester. This project includes 4 stages, an ice-breaking stage, a team building stage, a collaboration stage, and a conclusion and presentation stage. In addition to those 2 synchronous meetings that we have and the small group synchronous meetings that students have on their own, we also integrate Padlet twice, where students post videos of themselves and comment on each other's videos. So this has been quite a beneficial project for students based on their feedback, and I'm very excited about offering this opportunity to my students. There are a few challenges similar to what Jabbar was mentioning, but mostly related to the time zone difference and making those meeting times convenient, with keeping in mind how busy everyone is, having full-time jobs, taking 5 classes at BSU, as well as KGU students. So, but we found ways to overcome these difficulties. As for my second project, I work with Cambodia in my other course, also part of the same TESOL certificate, TESOL minor programs. So we work with the organization called EYC, Empowering Youth in Cambodia. It's not a university, it's an organization that supports students and young professionals in different skills, including English learning. And this is not a very traditional COIL project in terms of the structure, because my students meet one-to-one. Each of my students meets one-to-one with an EYC student. And they over a course of 8 to 9 weeks, and my students practice teaching English to those EYC students, and the EYC students learn English in like private tutoring sessions. And my students have a chance to apply content that they learn every week in the course. They actually learn methods and strategies on how to teach English as a second or foreign language. So my students apply this content weekly and reflect on the application of it in their sessions in weekly journals that I read and grade afterwards. So this is a great practical experience for my students. It has some challenges as well. And one of the challenges, and it's been the second time that I've been offering this project to my students. So this semester I'm dealing with really bad internet connection issues on the Cambodia side due to the rain season. And we know these issues, technology issues, but it seems to be quite a challenge this semester for a number of my students, because the interruptions are so severe that sometimes they impact the sessions and just the implementation of what my students plan for those sessions. But we found there are some ways that we found to overcome this, such as help EYC students connect from the EYC school instead of from home. At the EYC school, the connection is better. So that's a brief overview of both of my projects. If anyone has any questions, I'll be happy to communicate by email or moving forward, or if we have time in this session. But thank you. So now I would like to go back to the PowerPoint and introduce the rest before we have another activity. So this is, Winkai, would you like to talk about this? So the professional networks or virtual exchange that we have established at BSU.
So I think the purpose of this meeting is really to talk about strategies for supporting COIL and virtual exchange at Bridgewater State University. And one of the best strategies is to really utilize the professional networks of virtual exchange and COIL all over the world. So we are members of both the SUNY COIL network and the IIGE in Japan. That's why you're hearing a lot of collaborations with both Mexico and Latin America on the one hand, and with Japan on the other. We also partner with the Stevens Initiative. That's why we had a project with the Middle East, because these are organizations that represent the best practices in Asia, Latin America, and also the Middle East region. We also were fortunate to receive a grant from the American Council on Education on our work with Japan. So you have heard about presentations that focus mostly on Japan and the Middle East, and also an emerging project in the Caribbean, in Dominican Republic. But we also have had projects with Mexico. The professors are here today. They cannot present about their findings. So our strategy is to work with partners and organize faculty meetings to share experiences like today. But today is like a hybrid meeting between the professors and also inviting the partners. So we will be talking about how we proceed from this time on later on in the meeting. Thank you, Alexandra.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Winkai. So a couple of benefits of virtual international exchange that are universal across the projects, though there are some challenges, but the benefits outweigh the challenges, as you from your experience or from hearing about others' COIL experiences. So those COIL projects, they deepen global engagement of students in the classroom without requiring travel abroad by implementing online collaboration with international partners. Not everyone has a chance to travel to study abroad. So this experiences, the COIL experience, virtual exchange experience, really add that international experience to students' education and allows them to increase their cultural awareness, enhance intercultural communication, and acquire new perspectives in global learning for students who had limited exposure to peers in other countries. And it broadens participation of internalization at home, increase educational access and equity for students all over the world. So with this interconnectedness that we have these days, it's really, it makes a lot of sense to integrate projects and give this opportunity to students, to all students, not only those who can actually afford traveling abroad. A few ways that we support our BSU faculty with their COIL projects. We help with connecting with international partners and faculty for those faculty who are interested in integrating COIL projects into their courses but do not have a partner yet. We encourage our faculty to participate in partnering fairs and networking events, such as those offered by the SUNY network, SUNY COIL network. We also provide professional development opportunities offered through, let's say, Stephen initiatives, and we share this information with our faculty and encourage them to participate. We also have a monthly faculty support group meetings at BSU with the faculty who are currently doing COIL, and it's a good way to exchange ideas and also share and reflect together and provide some feedback to each other and support each other in this way. We also actively participate in workshops and webinars offered by Stephen's Initiative, SUNY COIL Network, and other networks, and we encourage faculty to do it as well. And we also encourage and support faculty research and presentations at our local BSU conferences, annual conferences that we have, as well as external conferences. So now we will move to
Alexandra, if I could suggest, because the number of participants is smaller, and instead of doing breakout rooms, we do some little round of introductions by some of our external partners first, before we go into some discussion questions. Would that be okay?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Is it possible to take away from the slides so we can see each other? So I'm very delighted to have a few partners here today to talk about the infrastructure of supporting COIL and virtual exchange. We explain what Bridgewater State is doing in terms of supporting our faculty, and we just wanted to briefly have each university have everyone, not just the person, to introduce themselves and what they're doing with COIL and virtual exchange. And very briefly, I know that Montserrat, you have your camera on. Maybe you can represent your team, or maybe so first with Tech de Monterrey and then with University of Monterrey as well. So we're really well represented by two of the best universities in Mexico that are taking the lead about virtual exchange in the world, and we're very fortunate to have been working with them in a bigger way with Tech de Monterrey, also in a kind of a leadership forum discussion with Brenda also in UDEM, and so we also looking forward to working more closely with them as well. So we have a Montserrat. Maybe you can introduce yourself and your team and your school.
Sure, Wenkai. Hi, everyone. Good morning, or afternoon, or evening. It depends which part of the globe you are. My name is Monse Valendrano. I'm a coordinator here at Tech de Monterrey and in Mexico. And well, I'm representing my team. Here is Ricardo Lai, and also Arlet, it's over there too. And well, basically here at we do projects with COIL. Right now at this moment, during this semester, we have about 150 COILs running through the whole semester. Actually, this is the perfect time to meet each other because we are looking for international partners, because we have about 70 professors who are looking for international partners. So it would be amazing in all disciplines that we can collaborate to each other. So, Ricardo, you just turned on your camera. You want to say hi over there? Yeah. So nice to meet you all. We're on the same table. That's the reason that there is an echo right here. But well, nice to meet you all. Thank you, Wenkai. Thank you, Alejandra, for inviting us.
Okay, so Benedict or Andrea, can you guys tell us about UDEM?
Yes, thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Benilde Banda, and I'm a COIL advisor at Universidad de Monterrey. And we are divided. We are two advisors, Andrea and me. And we are in Brenda's team. Brenda is our COIL coordinator. And we are divided by schools. I'm focused on business school and education and humanities school. And I leave Andrea to present herself.
Thank you, Benny. Yes, well, I am as well a COIL advisor at UDEM, and I advise the schools of engineering and technology, arts and design, and architecture, and also professors that give class on sustainability topics. So that if you are interested in doing a COIL in those topics, you can write to me an email. I will put our link of our offer of our professors looking for a COIL partner, and also our emails. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So as I mentioned, we have about 6 to 7 professors who have been doing projects in Mexico with Mexico, but they are not here to present their findings. But I'm glad the partners universities are here, and this is an opportunity for us, Bridgewater, to be more globally connected to all parts of the world, but also for other partners to connect to BSU's partners as well. So I heard that, you know, you can get to know each other, and maybe you can also work together along with BSU or apart from BSU. So let's turn to the Middle East region, and we have Dr. Faraz from Jordan. Can you introduce yourself? Can you hear me, Dr. Faraz? Can you unmute yourself and introduce your university and what you hope to achieve? Maybe I'll go back to you and Dr. Yaron John, and can you introduce yourself, Yaron Jean? And you're also muted.
I'm on mute. So nice to meet you all. My name is Yaron Jan, and I'm trained as a historian, and I'm currently the chair of the Department of History at the Ornim College. And I will be very interested in collaboration in the fields of history, Israel studies, present and current situations, and political science, and this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Great.
So everyone is invited.
Yes, so we're trying to start our first project with Ornim as well, and for virtual exchange, our COIL. And then we have our Al-Qasimi Academy. Afnan?
Hello. Hi, thank you for inviting us. I am Afnan from Al-Qasimi in Baka Al-Gharbiyya. We already have collaboration. We are very pleased to have collaboration with Dr. Jabbar and Dr. Wissam from our college. They work on social justice. We are also very open to new collaborations. It could be in education, it could be in math, science, but still we teach these things under education, like we teach students how to teach math, how to teach sciences. We have 4 faculties and would be very happy to find new partners in BSU this year. I'll write our details here in the chat, and we are really happy to collaborate with anyone who is interested I would say the faculties we have humanities, science, education, and graduate studies, all under education. Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity.
Okay. So other than Israel, Jordan is actually our strongest partner in the Islamic world. We have been working with Dr. Fawaz for a long time, and he's the president of Hashemite University. Can you unmute yourself and speak? It doesn't look like it would work if you can unmute yourself or not. Okay, so we will go back and explain our relations with Jordan a little bit later. We also have originally partners from Japan who were in South Korea, but it's too late for them. It's already 1 a.m. in Japan and South Korea. It's already midnight in China. So our guest from China just left from Shanghai. So we are working with China, Japan, and South Korea. We want to have these projects with them. And we already work with Japan, as you all know. We have a new project with South Korea. It's emerging. Now we turn to our newest partner in Africa, and also ask Dr. Daniel to introduce yourself and your university and your department's interest.
Hi, Wink. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Here it's 6:45 p.m. I'm representing Makerere University, one of it's really a prime university in Uganda, East Africa. But particularly, I'm coming from the Department of Geography, Geoinformatics, and Climatic Sciences, which is still under the School of Forestry, Environment, and Geographical Sciences. I'm specifically interested, and I'm representing colleagues from my department. It's quite a broad department that looks at geographical sciences, geoinformatics, and the climatic sciences, and specifically myself, I'm very interested in climatic sciences and environmental science and policy. So happy to meet all of you from all over the world. And Winkai was here, I guess this fall, was here briefly for some work. So we're really looking forward to participate in this COIL. I guess, of course, we are eight hours in front of BSU, but I think we could really identify some times where we can work together. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Daniel. I forgot that Sophie stayed up very late to actually meet us today from Hong Kong. So I have Sophie to speak about your institution as well.
Can I make a contribution?
Oh, yes, you're muted now, so you can.
Okay. Well, thank you very much indeed for this valuable opportunity to connect with those wonderful people from different universities. I am the president of Hashemite University. I have been in contact with Bridgewater State University a long time ago when I was a vice president for Tafila Technical University and Yarmouk University. I think we have two experiences with Bridgewater State University with COIL. Once I gave a talk, and that was very interesting talk, the role of language planning in enhancing a second language learning. At Hashemite University, this is one of the best university in Jordan. We're about 32,000 students. We have 18 faculties. And we're interested in connecting with the Bridgewater State University, especially in computer science and artificial intelligence, and also in second language acquisition and TESOL, and also in education. So we are welcoming all participants to connect with us and to have this experience with Bridgewater State University. Thank you, Professor Winkai and Professor Jabbar, for having us on this wonderful opportunity and event.
Thank you, President Pavas. And I think Sophie, you're next.
Okay.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Sophie Chua. I'm representing the Department of Early Childhood Education in Hong Kong. Department of Early Childhood Education at the Education University of Hong Kong. Yeah, and we have worked with two of your colleagues at Bridgewater State University from the early childhood and care faculty, right? We are also open to seeking more having more collaborations with you, and I will write my detail in the chat group. Yes.
Thank you so much. We're going to also circulate a list of partners and contact information, and just from the Bridgewater network who are actively involved in COIL virtual exchange, and see if we can continue to identify projects together. And we have two faculty members who are here today who are doing a project or who will be doing a project next semester. And let them introduce themselves as well. Francisco and then Margie. Marsh, yeah. Is that Francisco first?
Should I go first? Okay. Thank you, Winkai and Alejandra, for bringing this important meeting. I'm currently working with Tec de Monterrey. I'm actually working with Dr. Bonnie and also with Ricardo, who's present here at this meeting. And we're talking about, we started back in the early September, and it's going to go all the way towards probably the first week of December. We have about 78 students. And this time, my field of research is victimology, and I'm an attorney and I'm a criminologist. And so Bonnie has political science. And so we decided to do research with the students dealing with corruption and human trafficking. And it's going wonderful. We had 2 synchronic meetings. We brought somebody who was a victim of human trafficking, and it was very interesting. And the students are now concluding the final project that it will be due on Monday, next Monday, and then they will do the reflection on Padlet. And so this is my second time working with Ricardo and Dr. Bonnie, and it's been just an amazing. Thank you, Winkai, and thank you, Alejandra.
Thank you. And Marge, you have a project that you're planning right now?
I am Marge Johnson. I'm with Bridgewater State University in the College of Business. So I'm looking at a project in marketing, and I think probably something small. I heard Karen talking about a 2.5-week project that might make sense to insert with one of my marketing principles classes, which is sophomore level students. And I think it's great to get a early small experience dealing with international students that would then help to foster an interest as juniors and seniors, rather than maybe just getting a taste of it at a senior level and then, being on to graduation. I worked on a small project like this with not with Tec Monterrey, with a university in Argentina and a university in France last semester, not a COIL project. And it was excellent. We had over 200 students involved in all of it, but it was, again, a small bite-sized chunk that fit into many different classes. And I had an opportunity to talk about entrepreneurship with some professors that were visiting from Tec de Monterrey. So when I saw that you guys were on the list, I was like, oh, I would love to have another collaboration with them. So I think that's what we're looking to get set up. And I have some starting interviews with a couple of professors, I think later this week or something. Alexandra and Winkai have been helping to set that up. So I'm very excited and happy to be joining this group, this very esteemed group. Thank you.
Thank you. Alexandra, do you think that we can open up for discussion? And I think we're trying to suggest that Both Mexico and BSU have a system of coordinators that actually are responsible for managing COIL. Alexandra is in my team, along with Jabbar and also Kate. Kate, you can unmute yourself, just mention your name and introduce yourself as well. Kate Hayes, which is not on the camera, is also a staff in the virtual exchange and COIL projects. Yes.
Apologies, sorry, couldn't get my mouse to cooperate. Hello, everyone. It's so wonderful to meet you all. I recognize names and universities. My name is Kate Hayes. I'm a graduate assistant here at the Minnick Institute for Global Engagement. This is my third semester working with Wing Kai and Alexandra. I worked very closely with Wing Kai last year when COIL was really starting to gain momentum following the pandemic, and people were starting to not only come back a little bit in person, but also trying to just redo the way that we were doing virtual previously. So it's been such a pleasure working with him on this and now working with Alexandra as our new COIL coordinator. I'm a master's student in English here at Bridgewater State University, and it's just been such a pleasure, as I said, getting to meet so many people from around the world and just make all these wonderful connections. So I'll put my email in the chat if anyone would ever like to ask me any questions or if I can be of any assistance. I also work very closely with Wing Kai and Alexandra, as I said, so you might see my name pop up here and there, an email from me. So thank you so much for attending. It's been such a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you, Kate. I think the next step is for us to really work with each of the universities that are here today, and really have another separate meeting with me and Alexandra, and to see which faculty in your listing might be interested in having a call with Bridgewater State. We have been trying to identify our professors in different fields, but our process is a little bit complicated because we are very decentralized campus. So we don't really have a really clear idea about particular professors until a little bit later, when the other side mentions a field or professor, then we will be really looking for the right match. So we cannot promise you that we have 50 professors that are here already for you to choose. We actually don't have such a list readily available, but we are willing to encourage all our faculty in all the departments and all the colleges to consider COIL or virtual exchange. And again, as you can see from the pattern here, we have from 1 week to 3 week virtual exchange to 4 weeks to 12 weeks COIL. So we have done everything from 1 week to 12 weeks. We are willing to include all of that in our portfolio as our virtual exchange initiative and really learn from the best. So we have professors who've done synchronous in their classes or totally asynchronous with just one meeting. And we also have been doing it outside of the classes with some virtual exchange projects. We involve university to university and also university to high school or elementary school or schools in particular in education. We also involve students with professors, joint teaching and joint lectures and research. But one thing that should be included is that students need to be involved and students need to learn from the experience, whether they are directly collaborate with the other students or they learn a lot from the other professors or talk separately with the grassroots civil society in another country. So student learning cannot be left out in the whole process. Whenever, even if we just bring the professors together or to have the global lesson study conference that Karen mentioned, at the end, we need the students to find out what the students learn about it. Hopefully this is clear. So I will, before we sign off, we'd like to see if the partners have any questions or any professors.
I'd like to ask something, please.
Sure.
At our college, we do offer the lecturers to do virtual exchange, the same as you do, COIL. But we don't oblige them to do the whole course. Like we do like partial sometimes, like one, let's say 6 lectures out of the 14. And that would be like good experience for us and enough. Would that work like with some institutions, or you are talking about like a whole course, which is totally from the beginning till the end, which is virtual?
No, most of the projects are not the whole semester, and also this could be both. So for example, the classes can be in person, and the interaction can be virtual at the same time. It can be both, or it can be on that day, the students would not be in the classroom. They will be Zooming virtually, or they can be still in the classroom, but connecting online at the same time. And in terms of providing guest lectures or joint teaching, that's what Jabbar is trying to do right now in his project. So the students are trying to meet together. But if you want to record some lectures or do some guest lectures, we still want a student audience. We still want a faculty audience. So it's not, we are not into just recording a lecture, like a MOOC model to send it to the other people and to come up with a course. And that's a totally different model from a COIL and virtual exchange. So I hope this is clear to you, Afnan.
Yeah. So it could be partial. It doesn't have to be the whole course.
No,
Okay.
most likely it's not the whole course. It's a part of the course.
It makes it easier and good start. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. I know, Mansra, you had your hand up.
Yes, thank you, Winka. I just raised my hand. It's just a comment before I leave to my next meeting. Nice to meet you all. And this comment is like, we have been working with Alexandra and Winkai with BSU for a year and a half, more or less. We have some of the collaborations. If you have not joined by doing COIL with BSU, I promise you that they're going to do a great support through the collaborations. They are always giving support to the professors too. In that way, they guide them in case that they have their first experience. So it has been a pleasure collaborating with Bridgewater, with Alexandra, with Winkai. They're always there, and thank you very much for this opportunity. And that's only a comment. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the shout out. And we want to work with UDAM as well. UDAM, so maybe this semester we have another project with UDAM. And of course, Oranim and Hashmiti, and also Mercury. So this is just the first step, and we will be setting up meetings. If you are interested, then we will discuss the particular detail. I used to teach history as well, Dr. John, and so I will see what kind of possibility there will be.
Thank you.
Any final thoughts, Alexandra?
I just wanted to say thank you, everyone, for joining, for taking the time, for sharing about your projects, your universities. And we are looking forward to exploring collaboration opportunities with you, with your universities. And I'm really interested and already have some ideas based on what you mentioned in terms of the connections we can make with our faculty and your faculty. Thank you so much. Well, I don't think I left my email here as well, so I will just kind of last minute add my email address as well.
I used it yesterday to
Keep always on them. So thank you so much.
Okay, so have a good evening, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And good afternoon for Mexico. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.